G'day guys, James here, back for stage 2 of our termite treatment. What you're going to see in this video is the guys actually putting the perimeter treatment around the edge. And what that is, it's a stainless steel mesh that they'll fold down and over the edge of the slab, and then they'll put a purging over it, which is the glue that sort of holds it in place. Once that's done, then we can put our timber frames on top. So what you'll see in this video is the guys installing that, and then I'll come back and tell you a little bit more about the product, how it's all made up, and what benefits you can get from it. Alright, let's get started. So we're back here again with Paul from Termite. The guys are back to do our perimeter treatment. You saw them do the penetrations the first time around, and now that our slab's poured, we need to put this in underneath our slab. So thanks for coming back, Paul. You want to tell us a bit about the product and what we're doing today?
Yeah, certainly, James, and thanks for having us, and great to see the progress being made. So yes, we've protected the surface penetrations. We're back today to actually install the Termite perimeter barrier. We have Jason here who's been basically running around installing the Termite in place. As we go through this process, we will cover the installation, including on how it's actually bonded to the concrete.
Well, what we might do, we'll get it a little bit closer and I'll show you guys a close-up detail of the mesh going in, and Paul can tell us more about some of the benefits and some of the features of having the product installed. Let's take a closer look. Alright, so here we are. Here's a closer look at our perimeter detail. Paul's going to tell us a little bit more about the product and how it all works.
So here we are installing the perimeter. This particular detail, James is going to have a clad finish. So we're actually installing the Termite onto the top of the slab. It's all been positioned in place, and we'll be coming back and basically applying our Purge, working our Purge through the apertures of the mesh, bonding it.
Nice. And Paul's saying there's a couple of spots where we have some imperfections in the slab, just in some of the rebates, and what the glue, or the, what do you call it, the
Purge.
What that does, we'll get down into some of those imperfections, actually fill that completely up. So if you've got a bit of a divot in the concrete there, that'll soak through, and they'll paint it in enough so that it'll fill all those imperfections up right up to the top of the mesh, so it just acts as a complete barrier. So I think it's a good idea with the product.
Absolutely, James.
Yep.
And as you can see, the Termite is very pliable. So part of our installation manual, we have over 100 installation details, because not every perimeter system is the same. Here we are with a cladded finish. We also do a lot of brick veneer, double brick, tilt panel, mud brick, feature stone walls. So all of our installations are referenced in our reference manual with over 100 installation detail. That is also referenced in our code mark certificate of conformity, which is also referenced in the Australian standards 3660.1, which is new building work, also referenced in the National Construction Code, and in addition we have ISO 9001 accreditation.
Wow, so very compliant in all standards by the look of it. So what we'll do now is we'll go over and have a look at one more detail. We've got a cold joint that goes through our slab, where we've actually had a construction joint, and the guys have actually got to put some Termite mesh over the top of that. So we'll take a closer look at that, and then we might look at some of the purging going in and how it's all glued in place.
There was an area that we decided to protect on top of the slab, and I'll just move this away, and as you can see, James has incorporated a cold joint basically between the two slabs here. So that's basically designed, so if there's going to be any movement in the slab, this is where the movement will take place. So this is like surface penetrations coming through the slab that we discussed in our first visit, this is also an entry point that needs protection. We've actually formed the Termi mesh to produce a V. So this is going to be positioned on top of the cold joint. We're going to purge either side of the Termi mesh, leaving the V joint basically visual. So that way any movement that may take place between the two slabs, that V joint will actually just pick up any of that movement.
Just allows for a bit of expansion and contraction. Right, so we're at the stage now where we're doing the purging, which is like the glue, I guess. So again, Paul's going to tell us a little bit about the application, why it's used, and how it all works. Take it away.
Okay, thanks James. Okay, so all the preparation has been done, and now the final stage of this aspect of the installation is actually purging the Termi mesh to the concrete slab. So what we have is a bucket made up of the of polymer with the graded silica sand, cement, and Jason is basically working the purge through the apertures of the Termi mesh, so we get a fixed anchor point or bond to the slab. Once this goes off, it generally takes 24 hours for it to go off completely. That will then be ready for James to then start basically standing frames directly on this. The next stage of our process will be to then come back and actually just groom the perimeter, which will be after the cladding and the flashing has been installed, and then we'll put a safety edge on the Termi mesh, and that'll be the installation completed.
So thanks for showing us, Paul.
My pleasure, James, and as you can see through this process we've protected the penetrations, the perimeter, using the slab as a physical barrier as well, and protecting the cold joint. We've created continuity and a full termite management system, and some of the footage that you viewers will have seen or will see, you'll see just how intricate the system can be to install. The beauty of the Termi mesh system is the fact that it's quite pliable, and regardless of the construction type or products that we're dealing with, we can come up with a solution. And that basically comes down to, again, all of our installation detailing. It is quite intricate, and all of our technicians are fully trained and accredited in what they do. And in addition to that, very cost-effective system. It actually costs less than 1% to install the Termi mesh system when you compare that to the overall build cost. So the peace of mind for less than 1%, you've got a fantastic system in place.
Absolutely, and that's the thing I've been surprised by, like how detailed it actually is. The systems that I've used in the past have basically just almost been like a roll-on, sticks under your frame and that's it. But with the stainless steel, they're having to bend it, roll it, cut it in, make sure we grind it down so it's not sitting up above the height of the slab. It's a very, very intricate sort of installation, so very happy with what the guys have done. All right.
Awesome.
So thanks, Paul.
Thank you, James, and look forward to seeing you in the next episode.
Catch you next stage. Thanks, mate. Good on you.